Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to have you here today for this BTalk for the web conference Bolloré Group dedicated today to solidarity. So as you know, solidarity is one of the key values of the group, but it is especially in concrete commitments translated daily by generosity of the accompaniment in the entire world. Nearly 6 million euros were distributed 6 million were distributed in Group 2021 as a corporate foundation, solidarity program, partnership action, sponsorship, or even donations in kind. But above all, it's 366 projects with a societal impact in 49 countries, 70% of which are in Africa. Also this year, as you know, the group is celebrating its 200th anniversary. So it's going to be talking about history and talking about why it's so possible. So what does solidarity really mean for the Bolloré Group? And what are the solidarity actions carried out on a daily basis? So we'll now pass the floor to representatives of different programs of solidarity, and we're going to listen to some testimonies across the world. Now, in order to understand all these, let's come back a little bit about solidarity with Ange Mancini. We're going to talk about the historical moments. So, good afternoon. You are the member. So, can we just talk about the foundations of solidarity of the Bolloré Group and its protagonist for 200 years? Of course, with great pleasure, because I've been, in fact, talking about these. And it is a part, in fact, of the soul of the Bolloré Group to be integrating all these with the collaborators. And this has been going on for many years because Carnac Housing Estate was created by René Bolloré in 1917. It was already a workers' housing estate at that time. The workers would actually get the house so that they could better benefit from their work in places where, in fact, it was not easy at that time, until the Second Chance Foundation. So generosity is really the main thing for Bolloré Group. Now, there are several elements. There is this patronage, which is something that has as a goal both the autonomy of the youth, but also everything in terms of important events like natural disasters, etc., and our intervention will just accompany these moments. In other words, we tried, in fact, to accompany all these events. Now, we accompany these young people also through associations. So these are associations that we also support. And also for the patronage, it is a committee that we also created. And Dorothée, the director, will get into details about these. So any project over 5,000 euros will be treated by this patronage, and everything under 5,000 euros, of course, we inform the sponsorship committee, but it is at the free disposal of the people on the ground. So it's necessary that they are as close as possible to the beneficiaries. We also have a strong development at the international level. And beyond that, we also have two other effects and or elements which are very important in terms of generosity, which is the Second Chance Foundation, which was created by Vincent Bolloré and Michel Giraud in 1998. And the principle of this foundation is to start from this idea. Everybody in life can have a difficult time, a hardship, as we normally say. And you can have a project just to bounce back, almost as if being given a helping hand. And that's exactly what the Second Chance is all about, to get back on his feet in life. So since the creation of the foundation, 8,000 helpers have been given this help. And this is the living memory that we keep from every 5 years. And it shows that 70 to 80% of these people, in fact, are successful. And they can also regain basically a normal life and start again in a normal dimension. Now, the importance of this foundation is not only the financial aid, which is, of course, important, but It is above all that there is a sponsorship with two sponsors who accompany the person either in his or her search for training or to create or to take over a company. And this is something which is extremely important because this is the spirit of the enterprise and is also one of the major foundations of the Bolloré Group. Now, besides these, there's also something that is also important, which is the Jean Bosco home. It's, in fact, a former home of the Little Sisters of the Poor in the 16th arrondissement, and which was created in the 19th century, which was called Dimitris Rizi. And since the 16th or 1916, in fact, they started with. And in Paris, Bosco receives or welcomes 120 students abroad and French, but also elderly and sick people. So it's just like a small community of different ages. We're not just curing people, but it is in fact different generations, and this is amazing because it's not only about experiences of elderly people, but also the young people to participate in this global enterprise. So it is something that can have up to 180 beds, and so we have a whole bunch of different infrastructures: a library, a sports center, a music room, etc. So it's a system which gives simultaneously a sense of life in a small community, but at different ages. And this is extremely important. Moreover, the young people at the Jean Bosco, they are the ones who make the living memory by recalling all the former laureates to know what they've become and how they are doing today. So all these combination, we don't really talk much about this in the Bolloré because for Bolloré, generosity is not something we do because generosity is something that we do. And also, according to the message of our chairman, Cyril Bolloré, it's actually to give back a little help to people who need it and what they have the chance to have. Thank you very much, Mr. Vanzini, for this insight. You mentioned solidarity in the group of humanity also. You mentioned the Solidarity Program, the Second Chance Foundation, and that's why we're going to talk about this with Linda Sibi. Hello, Linda. So you are the coordinator also for the Second Chance Foundation. Now, before talking about the program itself, could you talk about your role and more broadly about the organization of this foundation?
Yes, thank you. I've been working also, in fact, for the Second Chance Foundation. I am the regional coordinator. And in fact, the idea of the foundation is that we have realized aside to have a presence on the whole metropolitan territory. So it's 55 relay sites organized in three major regions, and each has got a coordinator. So for me, it is in fact the northwest part of France that is my area on expertise. And I've been a coordinator for 10 years now. So the coordinator basically ensures the animation of all the sites for these different regions. So there's 16 sites in my case, and these are each hosted by a partner company. And it's actually the big thing about the Second Chance Foundation is to be open to the participation of a certain number of companies, which in addition to participating financially also provide support and are represented in this side.
So there's this human part. Of course, you mentioned that also, Mr. Vanzini. Now, can you tell us a little bit more concretely the program foundation of the Second Chance Foundation?
Well, I would say that the Second Chance Foundation program, we in fact wanted to make sure that it would still go on with others. And I would say that everything is in the name, it bears his name very well. We're addressing people that may have experienced accidents in their life, accidents that can be an illness or a very serious social difficulty, family difficulties. And these events have led to a certain break in their professional career because this is what we're focusing on, or loss of employment, loss of income, things of that type. And our goal is to allow these people to come back, bounce back, either by doing qualifying training course or by creating their own job, creating an activity. And as Marcini was saying, this can be done in two different ways. So, first, of course, is financially speaking, because we want, in fact, to be able to support these people. And the second way, which I think is actually the most important, is through sponsorship, which is provided by volunteers who are both collaborators or employees of the group, but also from other companies.
So each year, how many people are supported by the foundation?
Now, on average, we support around 300 projects per year since the creation of the foundation. That would mean 8,800 projects in total, and this is a rather enormous budget, so it would equate to around 33 million euros.
So I imagine you inspire a lot of collaborators with this idea of rebounding from life. Now, what could you say to those that would like to advise and how to direct them who might be eligible to or for this program?
Well, there are many different ways indeed to reach the Second Chance Foundation. So you can do it via internet, you can go onto our website and download the application form, and then we will study with the normal usual procedure your application. After that, there is also a channel which is the one we favor, which is the support or social action structure, since the majority of the requests that come for us come from Pôle emploi, a job sector, or a local commission, depending on the status of the person and their situation. And for us, it's very important because we really see ourselves as the last link in the pathway that will help the person in a situation of difficulty. So this helps not only the job center, but also it helps them consolidate their project and to be able to reach the foundation when in fact they will need a little extra help to realize their project.
Thank you, Linda. So, as you said, we all have a right to a second chance, and thanks to you, it's possible. So, you came with Isabelle Bacha, and Isabelle, you are one of the laureates also of the foundation. Hello, thank you very much for coming to testify. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you actually got the support from the foundation, and what was your project?
Hello, thank you very much. So, in my case, I had a complicated life path. I had gone through burnout, I had cancer. I wanted to resettle, in fact, and I wanted to use what I knew and to get some training as a therapist. But the thing is that everything that deals with the administration therapist training is not paid for. And in that particular case, I had no financial means of going through these courses. And that's why I called on the foundation. And they also helped me with my training. And today I am indeed a therapist. And now I am also able to help others. And that is also thanks to the foundation, also thanks to the financial help, which was, of course, fundamental for me to get back on track. And that allowed me to do what I really wanted to do, what I wanted to concretize also in my life.
Perhaps you can explain to us a little bit more about your experience and how you heard about the foundation.
Well, it was actually my counselor when I was preparing my project in the very beginning. She told me that, in fact, they would not subsidize these kinds of projects. And basically, she gave me some contacts and some additional information. And that's how I started. I sent the internet file, the form that was mentioned before, and after a few months, I received an answer and they welcomed me. And there was basically a slight problem because there was a lack of volunteers in my region, and so this slowed down the process, unfortunately. I am from the Le Havre region, but I was actually also working for the region of Le Gant and also represented here the project from the foundation. And for me, this was also subsidized.
So we understand that these components that you received, because you are a therapist on the one hand, but you yourself, you also the supporter of these as a laureate. So there is in fact this strong need to have volunteers to support these laureates. So what is your mission as a mentor?
Well, apart from being a therapist, I also work in a training center, preparing to set up companies to get them started. And I also work on a personal basis with people for these training centers. We also have some potential candidates, and since in the region there were no volunteers, I thought to myself, well, okay, this is the right time for me, and I would like to come back and try to help people who are in need this time, just the same way that I was helped myself, and also to be acknowledged. So today I work as a volunteer for the foundation for the training center, and this is also where I am conducting my activities.
Thank you very much, Isabel. Linda, maybe you also would like to give a call of attention for those that would like to willingly being volunteers.
Yes, I think that Isabel's career path is very illustrative precisely in terms of the sponsorship from the moment she was asking us. The first element in fact of our support is not just the financial part, but at that time in Le Havre we had no volunteers, so it was really complicated. So it's a sponsorship that we took over directly from the head office itself, which is not the model. But afterwards, it's just a nice loop, basically, because today she is the one that will accompany all these children also and people on the ground. So for us, it's very important. Today, we already have volunteers that are also collaborators. So the group is mobilized more and more. We are actually asking for this mobilization. We have 55 sites in France. So there is this still this possibility to get involved. And I think that you're going to show the link, right? And also the map. So all these, in fact, are normally also associated with another company and other companies in general. So for the volunteers from different regions.
Thank you very much for your commitment and your testimony, Isabel, and you, Linda. I think it's now important to mention another program that was set up 15 years ago, Hearts Talents by Bolloré. And we've got Dorothée. Hello, Stéphane. Thank you very much for both of you for being with us today. And Dorothée, you prepared this program, Hearts Talent by Bolloré, and you are the director of the International Solidarity Commitment and Sponsorship of the group. Now, can you tell us a bit more about this program and the details of how it works and how it is organized?
Yes, of course. My pleasure. Now, the program, it is a philanthropic program of the Bolloré Group, which defines the access and ethical principles for choosing local projects that are supported by the local management. Now, the history and the values of the group, the Bolloré Group, makes it pertinent for us to support local projects with a high social value, normally in favor of the most vulnerable. So, this program started by supporting the empowerment of women starting in 2008, and since 2018, under our President Mr. Cyril Bolloré, we've also been supporting youth. It's also a program of selection and ethical labeling of the projects that are proposed. Normally, this involves the resources of the local management and also different stakeholders, such as collaborators, with a common goal, which is seeking a maximum positive impact for communities. Now, let me give you some figures just to make it easier for you to understand. We support 350 projects per year in 49 countries. And this is something ongoing, so year after year, This is the number of projects in 49 countries so far. Now, the major difference since the creation of this program and now is the number of beneficiaries that we reached 55,000 in 2021, and we have more than 70,000 in 2022. So, we are extremely proud of that.
55,000 beneficiaries. It really means a lot for the collaborators watching us. So today, how is it possible to get a project?
So, if you want to come out with a project, you need to be an association, a non-profit organization. You need to have a general interest, and normally we would require a high social value, so very much focusing on the vulnerable ones to accompany and protect them. So, this kind of projects. And legally speaking, it has to be a non-profit organization project. You would go to the platform. I think that that will also be a link that we will show on the screen so that everyone can go there and you make an online request. Of course, there are different questions that you need to fill in. There is a first selection that is made by my team, but the second selection will actually be carried out by the local management. So, um, any project should, so for example, an Indian project should be looked at by an Indian team to see whether it is in fact possible and feasible to go on with the project. And then we can also give our final opinion so that the management can be also involved in the development of this kind of project.
So that's for today. But what about the future, in fact, the development axis?
We are going to focus on youth. This will remain our priority. We want to respond also to the humanitarian crisis and some humanitarian crises that may arise. Unfortunately, we're confronted with many today. So we're regularly called upon to contribute, as we did with one of our key partners in Haiti about these topics in these different sectors. So we also helped with a solidarity action for Ukraine and all the local populations that were affected by the war. We're going to remain with the same axis, youth and humanitarian crises, but we're going to try to make this link even stronger, even more sustainable with our collaborators through a platform that has already been created. It is a community based platform between inverted commas, which allows our employees to find a mission either face to face or remotely. It is a mission in associative projects in France, which allows them to get involved on a regular or occasional basis for a mission of internal general interest. And we're going to continue to increase our impact with local partners. For example, one of the major ones, we could say, which is the Cité Internationale Universitaire, which we have built with them and we have worked to develop a scholarship program. Indeed, and now we're going to offer a social scholarship program running from 2022 to 2024. And these are programs that we particularly enjoy because we can also try to help students when it comes to the questions of security, which is an increasingly important problem because of COVID.
Thank you, Dorothy. Now we can also listen to a collaborator that got involved also via the platform that you just mentioned. So, Stefan, you are in fact one of these engaged collaborators. Can you please tell us who you are and how long you've been working the group? 6 years, 2016 when I first started. I'm responsible also about road transports. There's also the maritime part, air part, but we need in fact to move on with all these as a road transport. And this is basically what I do. And you started with these. So, what really triggered you to do these? Well, I was already involved in many other things with other missions, and when we received this possibility to do and something else to diversify the possibilities to help people, then I felt, in fact, concerned and. I went, in fact, to this platform and I thought about what could meet my abilities. So not only from my abilities, but also geographically speaking. Now, of course, with the system, these distance learning systems, we can do whatever we want. So I decided to help a girl who was based in the north of Paris. I'm in the south, so we could not meet. And so we had meetings every Wednesday evening on Google Meet. And I was helping her in English, German, history, geography, with her homework. And so this association is normally also taking care of children who are in a foster families, so completely different from normal families, so to speak, and they did not necessarily have the best conditions, in fact, to reach success. So, how did you actually hear about these? There was, in fact, uh, the this kind of work about the tool and the platform. So, trying to help, I was also interested when I saw these, and that's how I get to know the platform. You mentioned your personal commitments. When did you start to do your work, and what would you advise to our collaborators, employees who would like to get involved, but not that do not necessarily have the time? Yes, indeed, you need to have time, abilities, but you'll see that there's so many choices in the platform that you will see very simple things, not complex. And if we really want to get involved, with our own abilities, there's so many things you can do. When you want to be useful, you always find something. So it's nothing new to me. As I've said before, I was already working in a church, doing translations, visiting prisons, prisoners that do not have the possibility to receive family members. I also tried to help with the English tutoring in my neighborhood. People that got to know that I could do this, so helping them to progress, and also a treasurer in an association, and tried to also work towards the development of children in Madagascar. And I'd like to be able to do more for these associations. So I'm looking now for sponsors within these associations. What would you say then for someone that fears not having enough time or to be involved in the platform? I would say, well, just go and have a look at the platform. And if people need your advice, well, they can count on me. I'm not officially on the platform, but I can try to help people that might find it difficult at first. But I would say just go to the platform. You'll find something. Then you will have such a selection of things that's the most difficult parts.
So, if there is a collaborator, for instance, that wants to be involved on the platform, we have a hotline available and also an email address for those who have any questions on how to position themselves or get involved, etc. They can very easily ask and get an answer quickly. So, thank you very much, Stefan, because it's true that we have 60 partners present on these platforms. It's not just the youth, it goes from the elderly people who are alone and need to create human links or associations, and we believe that they are very good partners, nonprofits, NGOs. So, associative support is really the key word, and we have that. And I think also that means a lot for the support of our collaborators.
Thank you very much for your testimonies and for your explanations. And I think our collaborators now have all the elements to commit themselves. And there's no reason not to, we hope anyway. So thank you very much again. And all entities now of the group are now, in fact, or want to be involved in these. And also for the solidarity programs of media, Diane Minda for the Vivendi Create Joy. Hello, Diane. So, how important in fact it is to get involved as a citizen?
For me, solidarity is, first of all, being interested in others, being open, and being able to listen to others. And in this regard, the companies play a major role in our lives as citizens, as collaborators, as citizens of the territory. And therefore, it has a role to play in terms of solidarity. And we can only congratulate ourselves for having a group that has really understood this message and has been initiating solidarity for such a long time.
Now, this program has launched nearly 15 years ago.
The Vivendi Creative Job was created 15 years ago, as I said, and it was a program about equality, diversity, inclusion, also for different professions, different paths for youth and teenagers under 26. It's a special program based in France, Great Britain, Poland, and also in many African countries. There are different professions, really a whole array in terms of audio, visual, cinema, video game creation, journalism, live performance, as well as writing and publishing. And so we intervene several times a year on training projects for these different fields and professions.
So, how can you articulate all these?
So we work through call for projects. We launch two calls per year. The association needs to submit a file through our platform, and then these projects are analyzed by a selection committee and jury. And the most impactful, the most innovative, the most incredible, and then presented to the board, where a representative for each of the group entity seats and the programs for the CSR programs are present. And we also count on the employees.
So, you also count on the employees. So, can you just tell us more about this platform, this tool?
So the financial part is important, but it's not everything. In fact, our collaborators had this idea of providing expertise, and we suggested that they commit to the partner association. This can be done in many different ways, either alone or in a group on a one off or regular basis for the benefit or the young beneficiaries or for the benefit of the association structure. So each collaborator can have at least one day per year.
I'm sure you have plenty of examples of initiatives to share with us.
Yes, it's actually difficult to select, but let me just tell you about the training projects that we have in Africa for young journalists. At that time, um, Canal Plus International couldn't find a journalist competent enough to shoot a subject in Africa that would talk about Africa, and it was absurd to bring an entire a team all the way from France. So we chose to train um, these people, reporters, and now not only they work for the group, many of them are independent. And the funny thing actually is that during the COVID pandemic, when no one could travel, being able to have this dream collaborators that could provide quality content that could then be aired at a time where no one could travel. So another example that really stands out is in France. For more than 10 years, we have been partners of an association called Chance for Diversity in the Media, which allows us to offer a free preparatory course for students with scholarships so that they can prepare for the entrance exam for the main journalist school with students in scholarship. Often we do not, as students, we do not have the financial means to pay for an expensive prep course. And this training that lasts for 1 year and is completely free allows these young people to really take the entrance exam in the best conditions. And the good news is that we have just signed a cooperation contract with Prism Media, which will encourage their journalists to get involved in this association. And we also facilitate internship for these young students through this association.
Thank you, Diane. As always, to join our forces allows us to help and to carry out many solidarity actions. And you're now going to present us the images. Let's have a look at these Friends of the Heart of Madrigal, Cameroon.
Welcome to this program that will allow you to discover our association, Coup de Coeur, which is a partner. Today, Friends of the Heart Madrigal of Cameroon, and the goal is to make musical education accessible to children within the schools of Cameroon through choral singing. Through four actions, in fact, training, um, workshop collection. Let's have a look at the first one. Training musical education is not included in the school curriculum, so the association trains once a year young adults to teach in schools as volunteers in the schools. Now, these activities, which are in fact workshops, which is the second axis, second pillar, allows indeed to discover this musical education. The third part is collection. It's more than 200 ethnic groups and as many languages for the different regions because they have their own music tradition, and it contributes to the social and cultural cohesion of the country through traditional song to create a true repertoire. Now, the repertoire that is created is then used to get the children to sing and inspire the creation of a national youth of Heart of Cameroon that brings together 52 singers from different regions of Cameroon. So, this call for action contributes also to preserving this musical heritage, and Les Amis du Cœur Madrigal Cavern was actually selected to organize the International Choral Festival in Yaoundé. This will be from the 1st to the 6th of August 2023 in Olapius. So the capital of Cameroon will become a singing city.
Well, there's an event specific to the group, addressing to all the employees all over the world. Then probably you'll say the Marathon Day. So, Elizabeth, thank you very much for being with us. You are the communication director of Bolloré Transport and Logistics, and you are the conductor of this Marathon Day, and you've been present on the group for 15 years. Can you just explain to us a little bit more for the newcomers? Because everybody knows Marathon Day, but what is it about?
Well, I do not work alone. I have a whole team that helps me organize this event. It's a very simple concept. Wherever you are in the world, you can walk around for 5 kilometers on the same day. The first edition took place in 2016, and this year was our bicentenary, and we managed to cover over 200,000 kilometers with the collaboration on 50,000 employees over 49 countries.
But why this kind of commitment?
Well, I think it has got to do with the fact that the Bolloré Group has 73,000 people all over the world, and it's difficult to gather all these people in the same place. So, this event, even if it's just held virtually, employees know that it's usually on the third Thursday of the month of September, so that they know when it is an event that they expect, they look forward to. And it's a great opportunity to see what the collaborators are like, where they work, because thanks to the platform setup, they can post different pictures from all over the world from this day, and it is this kind of dimension, this festive and solidarity based dimension that is important, because the more participants we have, the more we'll be able, in fact, to raise money through national grants.
He's this solidarity part implied here?
So, in order to understand the solidarity part and its involvement in such events, well, the basic idea of our president for this Marathon day, sorry, is that the higher amount of participant, the higher the amount of participant is granted by the general management. In the early years, we were talking about local management, and indeed it was very difficult to find bigger associations. But our goal is really to be as close as possible to the local communities, and we started a different concept, different years, with different countries that have succeeded in mobilizing the most employees, and they are the one that will be choosing the associations that they want us to make the donation to.
Well, Marathon Day is more and more, in fact, creating this enthusiasm. So, Helsa and Elaine, let's have a look of the Marathon Day.
I wish I didn't miss you, 'cause I'm better off without you. 'Cause I'm better off without you.
What a wonderful mobilization. So, after seeing all these solidarity and support programs, let's have a look now on the fields. So, we ask you to tell us what solidarity means to you, and from Canada to Sweden, and from Brazil to Congo. Now, the floor is yours.
Solidarity for me is a great experience boosted by a bunch of mixed feelings such as empathy, compassion, love, always seeking for improving people's lives as well as transforming the world in a better place to live, promoting a positive impact on all of the parties, meaning not only who receives, but also for the ones that donate. In this sense, I couldn't be happier and prouder of the entire Bolloré Brazil team, who are extremely engaged with all of the solidarity actions we have promoted during the last few months. Just to mention a few examples, construction of a toy library at Instituto Beija-Flor in Diadema City, donation of 30 desktops that has been shared between Instituto Beija-Flor and the community Sítio Joaninha, also in Diadema, donation of our São Paulo office furniture to Instituto Beija-Flor as well, food donation campaign to community Portelinha in Osasco. Our employees donate food, and for every single kilo of food that our employees donate, Bolloré also compensate with an extra kilo, donating the same quantity of the employees. Planting 50 trees in a park in Campinas City, Marathon Day donation to Instituto Dona Creuza in Mauá City, and last but not least, wall painting and water filter donation to Instituto Alma here in São Paulo.
Bonjour, Bolloré team, how are you? I'm Juliana, chairman of the social project Rede Cultural Beija-Flor here in Brazil. I'm here to say a big thank you for all of you, especially for Bolloré Brazil, for all support that we are receiving. We are especially thankful for the computers and notebooks for our students, for the equipments and furnitures for our administrative department that were quite important for our job. And especially we are very thankful for the personal efforts of your executives and employees and friends of the company. Much more than a donation, that of course is very important for our job. It's very nice and rare and an inspiration to see how Bolloré team is involved by themselves, like really hands-on. So I really hope that our partnership is just beginning, and we have a stronger relation in the future, in the nearest future. And as you know, we are supporting more than 3,000 people, including kids, teenagers, adults. So I really believe that we are making difference and you are part of this. So thank you very much, and hopefully we can make our partnership even stronger. Bye-bye, thank you very much.
I am Patricia Kamisi, in charge of communication for the Congo region. So for me, solidarity is the expression for humanity through the responsibility that we have towards each other, particularly for the most vulnerable. It allows us to set up actions in a disinterested manner to help or support a cause that is committed to and for everybody. We're in fact involved in different actions, and we work in different hospitals, schools, training centers, and we are also supported by the company. At the end of the year, we have a garage sale event in the Congo region which supports many associations, particularly those that aim to empower youth in terms of education, social integration, and also on the psychological and therapeutical level. And it has been gone for many years. So the solidarity does not only mean to help the community, but also creating collaborators inside of their own community. So we have different units that are trying to help with different diseases such as AIDS, malaria. And we also work with young girls. We have created a sort of partnership. And in order to accompany these young people to reintegrate society, to give them a new meaning in life, to give them a profession, to be an active member of society. And we have actions to support them.
Action has been working in the Solidarité Internationale Asie, working in Congo since 2007 on the accompaniment of young girls working in a situation of prostitution. So we have the Bolloré group for over 10 years, and this kind of accompaniment help is summarized specifically on the giving the autonomy to these young girls, and also to the contribution. We were able, in fact, to help 30 girls that learned a profession. They became autonomous and to get in charge of their families.
Hello, Estelle Motrin for Le Réseau Autistique Canada. Now, the Beat Talks theme is something that we particularly enjoy because it's one of the most beautiful values for the Canadians. Giving back to our local communities. This is a mission that Bolloré Canada is now assuming and has assumed over the years from the east to the west. We are supporting many different causes, and now with the holiday season comes, of course, the topic of food security. So this year we have a national campaign also in terms of food banks and food donations so that family can spend the holiday season with dignity. And we're very proud of the commitment and empathy that was shown by our employees to make sure that these missions became a success. Now, about the actions that we carry out throughout the year, we also have launched a campaign to raise money to support research against breast cancer. And one of the beneficiaries of this food campaign is also the region of Montreal and Moisson Montréal, which is the largest food bank in that region.
For South Asia primarily, India is engaged with many solidarity activities. We are actively involved with Jagriti, an NGO empowering children, family and communities from the unprivileged backgrounds. Our financial support, especially for the girls, has enormously helped them to believe in themselves and progress in every area, even during the economic turmoil time during COVID. The financial aid helped Jagriti to successfully execute various projects for the girls like education, coaching, training in specialized courses to make them financially independent in the future. We already have few children who have scored excellent results in their high school examinations and are soon to secure good jobs for themselves.
Solidarity is engraved part of our culture in GCC and Pakistan. While the countries have strict local regulatory requirements with limited scope, despite this, we have been successful in participating in many initiatives and drives. In UAE, we have been engaged with Al Manzir, a non-profit youth-led learning center providing supportive community and resources for students. Our teams have been actively involved with helping the children with various activities and have also helped with the relocation and refurbishment of their buildings. For our biggest solidarity event, the Marathon Day, recently held in UAE, was awarded by the Bolloré Group for the highest participation. This was donated to Manzil for the benefit of their societal activities towards the development of the children. We are glad to be part of Bolloré's solidarity initiatives. Thank you.
My name is Elinor Selbenius and I'm working at Bolloré Sweden Logistics in Gothenburg.
And my name is Karin Custer and I'm also working at the office in Gothenburg.
Solidarity for us means that all the employees at our Gothenburg office are working together to create some good. We raised money to Breast Cancer Foundation and we created a lottery.
Yeah.
Do you want to continue?
And we created, as she said, a lottery at the office, and all the employees could buy as many tickets as they wanted, and all the money we gave to the Breast Cancer Foundation.
Yes. To make awareness of this terrible disease. We also have another example for this. Last year, some of the employees went to Ronald McDonald's Children's Hospital and gave the families who stayed there for their sick children some candy for their Christmas. So it was a very important thing to do for us.
Yeah.
Now we're coming to the end of these Beat Talks, and we hope that this overview of the Bolloré Group's commitment to solidarity, past and future actions, has given you the desire for you to contribute and to continue to invest, to maintain your commitment, donation of food or supplies to accompany these people in difficulty, and also with the organization of the Marathon Day worldwide event. And all these gives you an opportunity to get closer to the association and to reinforce also this sense of belonging in difficult times. This is also the possibility to get closer to the association, to improve the daily lives of people, always in a good mood and with great enthusiasm, and you saw with a smile. So thank you to all those that came to transmit this enthusiasm today, and also to the collaborators that willingly shared their experiences. And thank you to all of you who watched these Beat Talks. See you soon for another Beat Talk, and very happy holidays for you.